One of the things that can easily catapult a simple misunderstanding into an argument is the tone of your voice. In this case, I want to talk about the volume of your voice. Now, there's a temptation to want to raise your voice higher than the other person simply because they are not saying what you want them to say, or they are not getting your point the way you want them to get your point. So you try and fast track the process by shouting, in their face. Anger will seduce you into exhibiting it, then it will stab you in the back for obeying it. Women, when you raise your voice, apart from the fact that you sound like a nag, it is exactly at this point of raising your voice that you lose control of your emotions. You now end up maybe saying what you don't want to say, or even if you say what you wish to say and everything, when the argument is over, you are still stirred up. You can't settle back down to your default setting of calmness. So don't follow the temptation to want to raise your voice to drive your point across. It's a different thing if your tailor is with your cloth and they've not returned it and you are due for the event you want to use it for. Yes, raise your voice, because sometimes Nigerians will just not listen until you shout on them. But we're talking about in your relationship here. Now, for the men, you see, I've advised multiple men about refraining from this temptation of wanting to shout their way through a discussion. And most of them come back and say when they don't raise their voice, they realize that the argument doesn't get loud because their woman will just not charge up to that level too. But if you do come back and say their woman is, which is actually a good way to know if you are married to a witch, because when she is raising her voice while you are still talking calm, then you can see that, okay, she just wants to raise her voice. Same thing for the ladies. If you get in the habit of lowering your voice, okay, let's discuss this thing, even though we're not agreeing, and your man is still charging, then you can tell that that person is not about getting understanding, they're about control. So get in the habit of lowering your voice, even when you're disagreeing. Trust me, you will see clearly, and you guys will be able to sort things out. Take charge of that part. It's you. I don't know your partner. It's you I know. So I'm talking to you. Take charge of that part. Just lower your voice. Calmness is indeed a superpower.